Doing a little glazing today. This is mainly for my documentation so I know what I did. So this one is 2 coats of cordovan. It was only supposed to go down to here, and I put it all the way down at the bottom, so I had to wipe it back. And then 2 coats of birch, Mako birch. And then this is 3 different bands of light flux, Mako light flux that I put on here. And in the inside, I'll probably do white. I haven't done that yet. This piece is 2 coats of peppered plum, new glazed for me also, just like the cordovan. And I'm probably going to do the coyote white liner glaze, which, you know, I was supposed to do on that bowl last week, but I didn't. But this is the white liner glaze. Anyway, 2 coats, and this is on brown clay that looks more like terracotta in my opinion when it's fired. And I did some carving, so I'm hoping that the crystals in the peppered plum will enhance the carving. We shall see. But like I said, I'm going to pour that white liner glaze inside also. All right, we're going to do 2 times. Here we are. That plate I did in the last kiln unloading was 2 times honey flux and 2 times enchanted forest. So we're going to do that on this vase that I carved out these details into. I'm also going to do 2 coats of the honey flex inside this vase. I'm not going to put the enchanted forest in there. I'm just going to put the honey flex inside. And we'll have to let this dry in between. I have a couple corrections to make. I did not put white in here. I decided to go with the black obsidian. So that's what's in here. And I am going to put white in here, but I'm not going to do the liner glaze because I'm not going to stir it. This is real thin, and I'm very concerned that something's wrong with that glaze. So I am going to use just the white coyote and not the liner glaze, because the liner glaze is so soupy. I'm going to put it on a little something that I'm not too concerned about to make sure that it actually is working correctly and not going to cause me a problem. Hello. I wasn't sure how I would tell you guys about this hobby that I started, I guess, back in May, June, something like that. And this is Doodle Tangle. And there's a couple different websites I look for. And it's very relaxing. There's no right or wrong way if you make a mistake. Some of it is what's called Zen Tangle. I don't know what the difference between the doodle and the Zen, but I found it to be very relaxing. And I use this coaster. There are actually tiles you can buy. I don't need to do all that. So just use this coaster, and I'll make my pattern that I'm gonna put my doodle into. And some of these have names. This is called Crescent Moon. It's actually one that's in the library of tangles. And this is Arcus Pokeleaf. They have some very unique names. Ratoon with Kelly and Penny. Shattuck. I think this one was Shattuck. That was very. And again, you can put as many in here or as little, as much as you want. This was Paradox. And this was me practicing with the Paradox. And some different leaf combinations that I made. And then you get some very interesting patterns. And a lot of times this one I liked a lot too. This was the leaf. I don't know if this had a name or not. I didn't write it on here. But I'll share some of the YouTube channels that I visit when I'm doing this. Anyway, like I said, I just use this coaster, and I'll just copy it and then cut it into fourths, and then I put my tangles in there. You just use very simple tools. You got your pencil. I use the Micron 01. I got an 01 and 03. This is archive quality ink, and these tortillons or whatever they're called for blending, because you do shading. So then it's just a matter of again, there's different YouTube channels that I follow, and I don't know, again, this is a doodle. You've seen that, yeah. And there is no right and wrong. And again, you're going to do shading on this, and this one is just doodling. I'm doing this a little bit faster for you guys. You could just pick this up just on where it connects on the other side, or you could go down a little lower and shade in. You could shade in this spot right here. And you would just spend time working on this, shading in the stuff that you want to shade in, making it deeper or less deep, working on your shading. And it's fun. I really get a kick out of it, and I like the just the serenity for me of it, just mindlessly, because I've always liked to doodle. So, that's what this is. This is doodle. So you can make some really beautiful, dramatic doodles. And when you're done doing that, you can actually use this for shading and then making that even more dramatic. You can do things like circles. There's leaf designs, and again, a lot of it is with the shading. And the big thing is there is no right and wrong way. It's just a relaxing thing to do, and I like it because then you can see, if you can make the pretty designs. And this one, as I said, I'm using this pencil. Generally, I'll use this and sketch out what I'm doing, and then just use the pencil to add in some graphite, which is basically what you're doing, and then do that for shading. You can actually put, they call these orbs, they don't call them circles, because again, you're not trying to be perfect. So you can put orbs in there. And again, you would fill in the whole space and make it nice. And there's again, YouTube channels that you can watch that will give you different patterns or give you ideas. And there again, if you did this, you could come around here, put some graphite around these orbs. And then you could take your tortillon, or whatever, however you say that word, and just kind of shade that in. So I really have been enjoying the doodling. The like I said, some of it is just doodle tangle, which is a lot what I'm looking at. But I have looked at Zentangle sites too, and I said there's a lady that I follow who she's very good at being calm and showing you how to do the different patterns. So that is something that I like to do, and as I figure out how I can incorporate that into my YouTube channel without it taking up so much time, just to show you what I'm doing, because it's just another thing that I like to do along with my knitting and everything else. But I really enjoy, as you can see on this one, there was a lot of shading involved in this, and it was just so relaxing. Today's adventure will be from Crystal Springs to Ernie's bike shop in Massillon. See ya on the trail. Alright, here we are. The adventure continues. On our way to Ernie's bike shop. Beautiful morning, although chilly, very chilly. Yeah, we did make it down to Ernie's bike shop, Blue Heron Deli. Tim did say they have breakfast sandwiches in there. So this is actually in Massillon along the towpath trail. One of the attractions along the canal as we head back to the Crystal Springs trailhead. Like they created a nice park down there. It runs along the Tuscarawas River. Tuscarawas, say that 3 times fast. Very nice.